The Locker.
Yo, it is season 2, season 5, episode 22. It's your man V Styles. I am home alone. My man A. White is handling business. One thing we do on this show is we are all about family and taking care of the things you need to take care of. It is as simple as that. So, for all of y'all wondering where A. White is, he's not here today. So, it's going to be your boy in the chair by himself. Now, look, y'all, I'm trying to do my best. This is not normally my seat. So, hang with your boy because this is new. Well, it's not new. I've done solo shows before, but Anthony is the one who usually comes with all the topics. So I'm I'm doing this off cuff. I'm trying to send out some tweets. No, like I said, Anthony. We going. I got some things that's on my chest that I need to get off. Highly football centric, but I'm going to start off with this. If y'all don't know, my sister played college ball at Arkansas State. So I am big into women's basketball, humongous into women's basketball. And what's killing me right now is that we are focused too much on these two rookies and is probably missing one of the best WNBA season in the history of the WNBA. Aja Wilson is putting up numbers, and we're not talking about it. We're not. She's putting up 26 plus points. I think over 13 rebounds, 12 some rebounds, something like that a game. She's bringing the heat consistently, and no one's talking about it. No one. We're always worried about is this divisiveness of picking a soldier. And here's the thing about it. You can go down my history. You can search, advanced search for my commentary on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They're two dogs. And why can't you like both of them? I like both of them. And I have grown to learn, I have grown to appreciate Angel when she came right here in my backyard. That's when my appreciation for group, because I've seen some stuff with my own two eyes that she has done. She is you know how they say a player's coach? She is a teammate. A teammate's teammate. She rides for her girls and for her coaches, period. And Caitlin Clark is just a beast. Why can't I like both of them? Why I gotta find a way to hate the other one so I can elevate the other one? Why I gotta hate one to elevate the other? It doesn't have to be that way. And I'm gonna say this: rebounding is a skill, and if it's not pretty, it's not pretty. But rebounding is a skill. If it wasn't a skill, everybody would get them. So don't hate on the aesthetics of Angel Reese because Caitlin Clark plays so pretty. Don't do that. And I said this in a tweet, then I'll move on. If you understand, and I understand a little more, play with the. I don't think, if you know me, I'm a very loyal person. I met my wife in Chicago. The Chicago Bears drafted me. Had some good times in Chicago. So therefore, I'm loyal to Chicago. Same way I'm loyal to the UK. So I follow all Chicago sports, even though I'm not a diehard fan of any of their teams. The Chicago Sky lost the majority of their scoring last year from last year's team. They bring in Teaspoon with a young team that pick up Chindy Carter, who was a cancer, as some would say. Teaspoon has got those girls in the hunt for a playoff. I guarantee you their preseason rank was not even close to that. Bush said, did I stuff Ant one of those? I did. I did. I stuffed his ass in this one right here. Those side ones. uh, Teaspoon, to me, is my coach of the year. There is nothing more, y'all, than having a coach that believes in you, who trusts you, who has your back, even when you're wrong. Chindy Carter is a dog, and she has some dog qualities. And some of those dog qualities gets her in trouble. But Teaspoon has her back 100%, and that's why she's balling out this year. Teaspoon needs to be coach of the year. I understand Reeves. I understand Becky. I understand there's some other coaches that are having great years, but the way Teaspoon has this, I'm gonna go on this, and then I've stayed on this too long. The way Teaspoon has brought this Chicago team along this season is amazing. And I'm gonna say this for all the Fever fans. I'm sure there's not any in here. The head coach, Christy Sides, is from Baton Rouge. I think I remember her. She's younger than me. I think she might be 2 years younger than me. She played at Central Private. I think she went, can't remember. Did she go to La Tech? I know she played at La Tech. Don't be getting on my hometown girl. I don't like that at all. She's a damn good coach who players are trying to figure it out, and they're slowly trying to figure. She's trying to figure them out, and they trying to figure out, and they are getting to a level of trust between everybody. And it seems like my freaking internet is having issues right now. But the lady Christy can coach, y'all. I'm a little biased. She's from my home. She's not even from my home state. She's from my home freaking city. She's repping the city well. And some of y'all fans from Indiana need to freaking. But that ain't no joke. That Midwest ain't no joke. So that's all I got for those girls. But them two coaches, Christy and Teaspoon, needs some more shine. And it's unfortunate that they're not getting it because of the two players. And Aja Wilson's not getting it because of those two players. Aja Wilson is flat out balling out. If you're not watching games, stop commenting. I like the eyes on the women's game. I just hate the divisiveness of either you got to be a this fan, you got to be a that fan. The players, be a fan of the league. The girls are balling out. This is a great season that's getting better and better. All right, y'all. Now it's time to talk about football. Should I try to find this? I'm gonna try to find this. I'm gonna share it. All right. One thing that got me going today is that there was a tier, an image of the tiers of the coaches in the SEC. And I got to find it and I'm going to show it. And it is amazing to me what these tiers are. Now, here's the thing with me with these coaches is what are you basing off of? What are you basing off of? Because I don't think people understand. I don't think people grasp the fact that some of this stuff is based off of where you at, your tradition, the resources, the facilities. There's a whole bunch of things that go into these tiers. Obviously, it's gonna take me some time, y'all, because obviously my internet is slow because I'm breaking up, I think. And if I'm breaking up here, it's hard for me to get on Twitter and find these tiers. But what are you basing this off of? Are you basing this off of longevity? Or are you just going to do a recency bias? Because this thing, man, I don't understand two other coordinators, two other head coaches. I really don't. And this is no hatred. Man, I hope I can find this. There's no hatred. I know we as fans, y'all as fans, dislike Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee, but I'm not going to lose sleep over Tennessee. They are rival. Rivalry games are so important. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Got it. Found it. See how I can share. See, I'm going to tell y'all again, y'all. I'm not good at this. Share my screen, and we're going to talk about this. I hope I'm sharing it. All right, y'all. These are the tiers. All right. It is undoubted. It is without a doubt. Kirby Smart is. It is Kirby. If you go on ladders, it's Kirby Smart, then probably 2 rings down. Now, I'm going to look up DeBoer's stats. I know when they were in that national championship game, his numbers as a head coach were ridiculous. So I have no problem with him being in the second tier, which to me is really the third tier. So I even just searched his name, right? They said in 9 seasons as a head coach, he has accumulated a record of 104 and 12, 25 and 3 record in the previous stops. He has a 12 and 2 record against top 25 in his 4 years at Fresno and Washington. That's sick, y'all. He has 3 NAIA national championships. So, is he Nick Saban? No. But I ain't got no problem with him being in that tier A, as they call it. I ain't got no problem with Lane Kiffin in the tier A. I ain't got no problem with Sark in the tier A. Them next 2 guys I have a problem with. Brian Kelly, whom are we Are we judging off of personality? Are we judging off of assholeness? Are we judging off of prickness? Then he probably belongs even lower than that. But as a head coach, he belongs next to DeBoer, Kiffin, and Sark. He needs to be in Tier A. Check out his record. Hope he was still there. Check out his record, y'all. Check out his record. His longevity, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, LSU. If you're going off of recency bias, did he just not have Jaden? Did he not win the SEC West? So to me, this guy needs to be up here. It should be 1, 4, then 4. Heupel and Drink does not belong in Tier A. Heupel, great offensive coach. And you would say, well, he's beating us. Well, shit. Derek Dooley beat us. Jeremy Pruitt beat us. So if that's your comeback, who hasn't beaten us at Tennessee? So just because of that, and don't football, y'all. Ooh, I'm gonna get into this. Put a pin in this. Football is a team game. It's offense and defense. If all you care about is offense, it's gonna be a problem. I mean, since Anthony's not here, did we not have a powerhouse offense when Hal Mummy came? I want y'all to look up at the amount of games we won. All right. Shh. I didn't say that. But Anthony keeps on bringing up that 1-10 season. So think about it. Drink, y'all. Drink went 6-7 and 6-7 before going 11-2 last year. He was below 500 as a head coach at Missouri until last season. So what's that? 6-6? That's 12. He was 12 or 14. Then he went 23 of 16 one season. If you think he belongs in Tier A, when you got a coach who's 104-12, this guy is what I said, 23-16, and you think they're in the same category? Come on, man. Seriously? All right. So that's Drink. Heupel. What was Heupel record the first year? It wasn't great the first year. Were they 7-6? Were they 8-4? Let me. I like getting the numbers. Here's the thing with me saying this, and this is what I hate about stuff like this. People start saying, "Oh, you hating?" No, I'm just being real. Heupel was 7-6 his first year at Tennessee. He caught lightning in the bottle with Hendon Hooker. That year with him and Hendon Hooker was similar to Liam Cohen's year with Will Levis. Match made in heaven. Hendon Hooker didn't do shit at Vatech. We beat Hendon Hooker in a bowl game with Liam Bowden as a quarterback. Hendon Hooker found that God put them two guys together because Heupel bolted Hooker into an NFL player, and Hooker vaulted Heupel apparently to tier A of SEC coaches. Because last year with Joe Milton, well, they finished 9-4. They won 8 games in the regular season. And here's the part that kills me with this, right? Some people get upset when they talk about us and our non-conference games. Oh, we play these easy games, and those are 3 to 4 just automatic victories, and blah blah blah. Let me hip y'all to Tennessee, because here's what I'm getting at. Tennessee finished 4-4 in conference. Now, if that was us, right? 4-4 is great for us. Not great for Tennessee. But here's the non-conference schedule for Tennessee: Virginia, Austin Peay, Texas, San Antonio, and Connecticut. But y'all gonna bitch about ours. Y'all bitch about ours, say those are 4 wins. So those should have been 4 wins. So 8 wins for Tennessee should be a problem. And they lost at Florida. That same Florida, did we beat Florida? So for me, the 11-2 season was a great year. Let's see what he does this year with a hand-picked high school quarterback. He lost receivers. Let's see, can they win a game? 8 wins at Tennessee isn't the same as 8 wins at Kentucky. I want people to understand this. It's funny when people bet, they go off of history. But then when they start talking about us, no, we got to be better. If you look at history, Tennessee, 8 wins isn't good for them. Right? Or am I wrong? Trying to see the history of Tennessee, y'all. I think 8 wins is not. I don't think those fans are going to be happy with 8 wins. Or am I missing something? Look at the Philip Former. They went 11, 10, 11, 11, 10, 10, 10. Now, after he left, they hit a bump in the road. But 8 wins, y'all, isn't what Tennessee fans wants to see. I don't think 9 wins are what Tennessee fans wants to see. And they definitely don't want to be 4-4 in conference. So if Heupel repeats this year with another 4-4 season, does he belong in Tier A? Does he belong in Tier A? I don't think so. His longevity is short. He had a great season. If you say last season was great, it was good. It wasn't great. And Drink is the same way. If Drink drops back down and wins 8 games, does he belong in Tier A? No. Am I smoking something that says otherwise? Now, those are those 2 guys. Jimbo needs to be at worst in C. And if you got Hugh Freeze in D, again, are we talking about person, not like the shit he's done? Are we talking about that? Or are we talking about his record? If you don't think Hugh Freeze is supposed to be in B, the dude won at Ole Miss. Did he beat Bama twice? No. Excuse me. Did he beat Nick Saban twice? But you got him in the lowest level. Did he not go to Liberty after his indiscretions? Go to Liberty and won there too? But he is in D? He's with Clark Lear? He's in that with Levy? I can understand that because he's new. Okay, but with Clark Lear, I like Clark as a person, met him personally at my high school, long story. But Hugh Freeze is D? If you want to ding him for his indiscretion, and maybe last year, maybe you put him in C. But D? Come on, man. His legacy, his history should put him in B. I'm really thinking A. But I can understand. There's some stains that maybe cloud your judgment that might keep him in B. But let me pull up Hugh Freeze. See, y'all, I don't deal. One thing your boy don't deal with is I'm not that emotional. Hugh Freeze, y'all. Arkansas State 10-3, 7-6 at Ole Miss first year, 8-5, 9-4. I don't think y'all understand where Ole Miss was coming from. Then 10-3, then he went 5-7. 8-5 at Liberty, 10-1, 8-5, 8-4. Then he was 6-7 last year at Auburn. In his 11 years, he's gone to 9 bowls. I don't know why Liberty didn't go when they went 8-4. The guy has a winning percentage overall of 640, 64%. And he took Ole Miss. Let me go Ole Miss, y'all. Ole Miss previous year to him arriving, Ole Miss went 0-8. Conference record, they were 2-10 overall. The year before that, they were 4-8, 1-7 in conference. In 2009, they were a decent team. So the 2 years before him, they won 6 games and lost 18. That's Hugh Freeze. In his first year, Hugh Freeze's first year, didn't they win 8 games? I'm trying to get back there, y'all. I should have just put on my laptop, but as I said earlier, my laptop is slow. But it seemed like the internet's picking up. They were 7-6 his first year. They were 7-6 his first year. They didn't win 6 games the last 2 years combined. Then he took over Auburn. We know how Auburn was playing. And he took over Liberty. This guy is certified. He's at least B. But he's D. Makes no sense. And I don't care what you say about Jimbo. Texas A&M, he had all the money in the world. But Jimbo won a national championship. Who in this group has won a national championship? Kirby? Nope. Huh? Is he the only guy other than Kirby that's won a national championship in this group? Somebody tell me if I'm lying. Is he the only guy in this group, or what, 16 coaches that's won a national championship, but you have him on D? Interesting. So all this tier thing is totally out of whack to me. Unless now I just saw the image. I didn't go to unless you're telling me that this is based off of last year. This based off of last year. I think Brian Kelly still should be up. But didn't LSU win double digit games last year? Am I wrong? Y'all quiet out there today. I know I'm not the greatest host. Dude, I'm looking at it. Brian Kelly he's had double digit wins every year since 2017. He had his last 3 years at Cincinnati were 10-3, 11-3, 12-0. And y'all got that guy at B. He has a 73 winning percentage. That's pretty damn good, y'all. That's pretty damn good. But nah, he's B. His winning percentage is probably greater than everybody else. I don't get it. Now, if you hate him as a person, I totally get it. He does some stupid stuff. He says some stupid stuff. He acts like an asshole sometimes. But man, if you go off his resume, he's a certified winner. Well, Bush, Hamlin, Burner, you can't put him up with Kirby because he ain't win. Now, if he would have won, I think you can put him. You might not put him on the same level, but you know what? Yes, you could. Because this history, he's won 3 national championships on a lower level. His overall record is ridiculous. If he won, he would have won at UW. Which y'all, I don't think people east of the Mississippi River understand the tradition and the legacy of Washington football. I don't think y'all understand the history Oh, the devil's lie. Somebody, somebody don't want your boy to be great. Somebody doesn't want your boy to be great. I I hope y'all hear me. Cobby, yeah, y'all lost me. I'm back. I'm back. Thank y'all for hanging in there. I, you know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna do what Bush said. I've had trouble with this. I'm gonna hook up my Ethernet to it. Give me a second. I'm probably gonna buffer for a second. Let's see if this is better. Normally, for me, it's better for now because for some reason AT&T is tripping. Yeah. I'm showing y'all AT&T is tripping. So sharing. Let me go back to sharing. So going back to this. So the bar could have been closer to Kirby with a win, but he didn't beat Michigan. And because of that, you know what? It really should be Kirby, the Bauer, another. So, now, yeah, that's good, man. Bush, you got me. But the Bauer isn't on Kirby's level, but he's close to what people think. He should be in a spot by himself. He should be S-like. S-like. But people, man, I just don't get it. And I'm sorry, I like Sam Pitts, but I don't like saying that South Carolina coach name. Should he be in D? Let me get my crack research staff, which is me, y'all. Let me get my crack research staff to see what his record is. I don't like saying his name because I actually like his dad. I thought his dad was an outstanding coach at Vatech. But him? Nah, bro. His record's better than I thought it was, y'all. He's 20-18. I thought it would have been under 500, but you can't sneeze at 20-18. Not as bad. I thought it would have been 18-20. So, oh, Steven, you saw my shorts? God dog it. So I think I'm done with that. I said something earlier. I put a pin in it. I said something earlier. The concussions didn't hurt me, y'all. They did, but they didn't put me out. I said something about offense and putting offense. If you only care about offense, all this stuff. Some people don't like our style of play. Some people think Stoops is not only calling defensive plays, he's calling offensive plays too. And it's ridiculous. The one thing on game day that you can bitch about Stoops on is his game management. And it's gotten better. He's a first-time coach. What did you expect? You expect him to be good under fire when he never had that responsibility ever? So if the bitching is gonna happen, I have no problem with you bitching about game management. I'm gonna go into a long soliloquy. So I've said this many times, maybe not in the way I'm going to say it. So it's going to be regurgitation. Mark Stoops hired Neil Brown and Shannon Dawson, his first two offensive coordinator hires. They are spread offenses. They are not ground and pound offenses. Here's the deal. When you don't have the level of talent to run that offense, you're going to have a problem. And that's what happened with those guys. I'm going to get to the guy later on. So here's the deal. So he brought in Eddie Gran. If you look at Eddie Gran's stats with Cincinnati, you'll be shocked of what happened when he got here. The thing that happened with the progression of this team all leads back to Drew Barker getting hurt. If Drew Barker doesn't get hurt, the offense looks different. The recruiting probably looks different. And the perspective of this team will look different. Go back and look at that Southern Miss game, Drew Barker's first year starting. Here is why Eddie Gran is, in my opinion, the best OC in the Stoops era. Eddie Gran went through a whole offseason with Drew Barker as the starter. We're going to do this. The game plan was different. Here is why Eddie Gran is so damn good on this level. It's the ability to adapt. The ability to put a square peg in a square hole and not a round peg in a square hole. Okay? So when Drew Barker got hurt, Eddie Gran probably looked at his team and said, okay, we got Steven Johnson who throws a great deep ball. We got Boone and we got this freshman back here. We got a great O-line. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with Steven Johnson making quick reads, getting the ball in his hand, or reading the defense, or reading what he's supposed to and be accurate. Maybe accuracy more than reading. Accuracy in the intermediate ball. So instead of Eddie Gran forcing Steven Johnson to do what the Cincinnati quarterback did, what he saw from Drew Barker, he said, I'm going to swallow my ego. I'm going to do the things that guy does best. I'm going to hang our hat on the best position group on this team. It's the O-line. So then the identity of the team and the progression of the team was changed. Steven Johnson is one of the best quarterbacks in UK history because of this. If Steven Johnson doesn't have confidence in himself and confidence in Coach Graham, Mark Stoops is not here. Steven Johnson saved Mark Stoops' job. Steven Johnson saved Mark Stoops' job, which put us in the greatest football in modern day UK history. So what happens, y'all, with that? That's what I want y'all to get to. What happens with that is I hear a lot of things of, Mark Stoops does these things so that the defense don't get stressed out. Now, if that offense was controlling the ball and scoring all the time, I get you with that. But I want y'all to understand this as a defensive player. All right. Bush saying that Mississippi State field goal say that too. All right. I want y'all to riddle this. That offense, when you minimize the possessions you have, that puts stress on the defense. Here's why I put stress on the defense. Because as a defense, I know if I F up and that team scores, we probably don't have the offense to come back and win games. So as a defense, we got to play field position. And when we got the field position, we have to stop the opponent and give our offense the short field. So that defense also gave the offense extra possessions because of how good they were. Think about this again. The offense wasn't explosive. The offense sometimes only had 4 or 5 play drives. The defense had to make sure they got the offense the ball back so the offense can have more opportunities to milk the clock. All this stuff about Coach Stoops don't want it because he wants the defense to not have it. Regardless, the defense has to get off the field. Now, unless you can prove to me that offense was having 10 to 15 play drives every drive, let's say 10 to 15 play drives, 50% of their drives. You might have a one leg to stand on, but that shit wasn't happening. That defense was repeatedly giving the offense opportunities. So a lot of people want to say that Coach Stoops is like this so he can keep the defense off the field. The defense still has to get off the field. And they got to get off the field with that style offense where the opponent can't flip the field and make our offense start at the 20. I would like to know the stats of how many times that offense marched 80 yards and score points. When people say complementary football, it works hand in hand. It's not just one-sided. It's not that defense is so good because the offense milked the clock. Because I guarantee you, if the defense gives that other team 14 points, or let's say offense scores first drive, defense gives them a touchdown, offense punts, defense gives them another touchdown. Now we're in the second quarter, we're down 14-3. Defense only gave up 14 points. Can that offense score 14 points? Are we going to be able to put drives together and put points and be explosive? Because here's the deal. You can't milk the clock because now you're minimizing your possessions. And if you don't score, you just ate up 10 minutes or 8 minutes. Now their offense get the ball back. And as a defense, you can't let them score again. Not even a field goal. As a guy who played both sides of the field, if you have an offense that is incapable of scoring quickly, the defense is stressed they are stressed from snap one. I don't think you guys understand it. They are stressed from the opening kickoff. Unless the offense has a great game, which happens, which I, I remember one of those years, our offense put up 30 points and our defense peed down their leg. And we had go look at 93 to 97. 94 was our worst defensive year, but 93 to 97, if you look at our numbers compared to what our offense was given, our defense, that 93 defense was unbelievable. I want y'all to get up. It bugs me tremendously that people feel like Stoops is calling both sides of the ball. The man ain't got enough damn time. Now, I will say this. As a head coach, though, I'm giving you the template of what I want on game day. I'm not making calls. I got to worry about the clock. I got to worry about timeouts. I got the damn the trainers in my ear talking about number 55 is he's out for the next half. Coach, we got an ankle on something, but I got to worry about special teams. There's so much on my plate for me to be like, hey, run a dive play right now. Listen to me. Run a damn dive. Hey, blitz on this play. I don't care. I say blitz. Now, after the players ran, he can pull a Nick Saban and say, Lane Kiffin, what the fuck play was that? Now, that can happen. But to think he's making the play calls? Now, I'm going to get on the people who complain about Brad White. And I might work backwards. Clemson game was a Travis Shamockery. It's horrible. Here's the deal that I want people to understand. And if you follow me, you watching with Styles, I broke it. I really believe, y'all, that Clemson game was 6 hours of analysis. I think I went 4 hours in the second half. And I think I went close to 3 in the first half. If you got time, go ahead. That's a lot to digest over on Watching with Styles. We lost our 2 best corners. Now we're playing with makeshift. And one of those guys, I can't say his name. Bruh. So that's what happened to Clemson. I don't think you guys understand the difference of defense Brad White has ran. Brad White, when he had Valentine, he put Valentine on the island. Valentine played a lot of press man. When he had the 3 starters, West Street, Lonnie Johnson, Beatty, Derek Beatty is one of my favorites. That defense a little different. When he had a decent edge guy, that defense was a little different. You can harken back to last year, y'all. The first few games before Trevor Wallace got hurt, Trevor Wallace was, I don't like I'm trying to think of a positive word because it's a positive. He was given the ability to make plays. He rushed a lot. He shot gaps a lot because he had Derek Jackson, who was such a solid linebacker next to him, who can cover his ass if he made the wrong read. When Trevor Wallace got hurt, that defense went the other way. So that defense was different at the start of the season than it progressed at the end. I'm going back to Eddie Graham. The greatest thing about coaching is the ability to adapt. Eddie Graham was that 2021 Lynn Bowden's year, ran 3 schemes in one season. He ran Terry Wilson's scheme, he ran Sawyer Smith's scheme, then he ran Lynn Bowden's scheme. And if you go back, I have highlights on that. The great thing about Lynn Bowden, and this is why it was so hard to stop that offensive scheme, was the progression week to week. They ran one thing and they added to it the next week. So if you thought we was going to run quarterback power, we made quarterback power the same and ran counter. But it looked exactly the same as a previous week. So here's the thing, as a defensive coordinator, you already don't know what you're going to get because each week he just changed the scheme. There is no, those first 2 weeks, you had no film, no history on what he likes to call on 1st and 10, on 2nd and 6 or more, on 2nd and 5 or less. You had no idea because it was brand. He wasn't making up. He was developing it as he went. So the reason why you had issues defending that scheme, and people like, well, you know he's gonna run it, but what is he gonna run? He gave so much eye candy with the boy. That was a coaching masterpiece. Cobby, you're right. That coleslaw was spoiling, and he didn't throw it out soon enough. The same thing with Brad White. I don't think y'all understand. Here's the other thing. I'm gonna give y'all some extra time because I had issues at the beginning, and then I had then I got blacked out. So that's at least 10 minutes. So what Brad White does is adjust his scheme to his talent level. So here's the deal. Last year, we had 2 corners, and Drew Phillips was our nickelback. So when Drew Phillips went in the nickel, we had to put another corner out there. And JQ was new to the system. I'm gonna give him that. The other guy wasn't new to the system and peed down his leg every damn time. So now, do you want to blame Brad White and that coaching staff for putting us in that position? Our recruiting at corner wasn't great. Valid. But you play with who you have. What you going to do? You got to understand that offensive coordinator on the other side of the field is paid $1 million too. Oh, they going to move Drew Phillips inside? Oh, we're going to attack the other guy. We're going to attack that guy opposite Max Harrison. All right. And that's what happened in Clemson. All these people who are suggesting that you play bump and run, man. Here's the deal, y'all. This is the hardest thing to do. Hardest thing to do. I'm a talk in. I should pull out the whiteboard, but I'm not. If a formation is reduced, which means the receivers are closer to the left tackle, close to both tackles than normal. The corners can't press. They're gonna stay off because there's too many things you can get picked on, right? Think about it. All right. So that's one reason. You look at and here's the other thing. When the team doesn't pass, Drew Phillips was impressed sometime last year. But they weren't passing the ball. Because the defense doesn't know when they're going to pass or run. So sometimes you're in closer vicinity to the receiver. But I'm gonna tell you this. Yours truly played at 9 yards his entire career. Played corner 3 years. Played safety my freshman year. I said, oh no, I said it's on my thing with the floor. No, I didn't even talk about that. I talked about that somewhere else. My freshman year, I played safety because we had too many damn good corners, and coach played me at safety. Moved me to safety for a year. Had 3 years of corner. Had 8 picks. 3, 3, and 2. In a league where it was I formation running down your throat. I had 8 picks. Playing at 9 yards. Every damn snap. I never pressed. Sometimes I would fluctuate my yardage to mess around with the receiver and the quarterback. I might get to 7. I consistently played at 9. So for all y'all talking about too much depth, you don't know football. Go watch any other team. Y'all see press, and y'all think they play press every damn snap. There are some teams, Pittsburgh plays press pretty much the entire game. There are some teams. The majority don't. Georgia defense, they won national championships back to back because Kirby Smart got away from putting those corners on island. They had a great defensive line, and he took those DBs off of the line of scrimmage, those corners off of the line of scrimmage. If you really believe a cornerback line up 7 yards off a receiver is the reason why we giving up easy yards, you don't know football, in my opinion. Y'all, there are 6 underneath zones. Now I'm talking technical. There are 6 underneath zones. Okay? There are 6 underneath zones. If you rush in 4, right? You only have 7 people left. There are 6 underneath zones. We're not talking about the deep third where there's, let's say 2 to 3, whichever coverage you plan. There's 3, right? There's 6 underneath zones, and there is more than 1 over the top. You only have 7 people left. I want y'all to think about that. You can't cover every zone, no matter what defense you're running. So therefore, what a defensive coordinator usually does is try to make the flat into the field, the longest throw you can throw, one of the vacant spots. That's called a flat. So the flats are going to be open a lot of time. It's a long throw. Everybody should be able to read and react and make a tackle for 3 to 4 yards. Now you got 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 6. Get what I'm saying? So if y'all think that that's the reason, what happens is sometimes, like the Mississippi State game a couple years ago, we couldn't make a freaking tackle on a damn dump pass. So players make plays, and sometimes our players I'm gonna say this. I'm getting over now. Tennessee game. Go back and watch the Tennessee game, start of the game. Tennessee runs a very simple offense, but it's effective because of the pace. They tried to run their staple to Keydron Smith's side. Keydron Smith and that side of football did an unbelievable job. They ran it to Carrington Valentine's side, the same fucking play. And Carrington Valentine was trying to do too much, and they scored. Who fault is that? Because the game plan worked when Keydron Smith did it as he was taught to do it. But when you go to the other side, you have a guy who started hearing press clippings and started doing too much. They torched his ass. And it wasn't J.J. Weaver's fault. Now, if you want to say that's coaching because he shouldn't have had his ass out there, I won't push back on that. But who's the backup? If that's your argument, valid. Who else are we going to put out there? As a guy who played football on this level and played with some ultra talented guys whom froze when the lights were on. What's up, Kendrick? Yo. It would have been 1996 in the swamp. Defense balling out. Balling out. First quarter. Go look at the game. We practiced this the entire week. Your boy had dislocated thumb, couldn't practice, couldn't start on Wednesday, got in a soft cast. Since I didn't practice on Wednesday, I couldn't start. My boys in practice were doing unbelievable. So I want y'all to picture this in your head. You got Jaquez Green. If you're too young to know, go look him up. Jaquez Green was lined up. I think it was in the middle of the field. Balls in the middle of the field. Line up to the defensive left, offensive right, in a reduced split. And what they do is, what they want to do is they motion Fred Taylor out, and they want to put a linebacker on Jaquez Green. Because we motion out. Who's going to expand? Who's going to expand with Fred Taylor? So all week, it's different. Normally, we don't do this. Normally, the corner would expand with the running back. This week, we were like, we're not going to expand with the running back. The corner's going to stay with Jock Green. Linebacker's going to go out in space because they never freaking threw the ball. And we cool. Make them throw it out there. We ran it at least 20 times. Probably no more than that because we got 3.5. We ran it 50 times. No mistakes. I think we had 2 possessions. Florida punted. I think the offense made us score a field goal, a touchdown. I know we scored first. Formation comes. Our coach was so good with game planning. Everybody on the field knew. Watch the motion. Watch the motion. You can, I don't know if they got all this over, but you can say, watch the motion. Watch the motion. Fred Taylor motion, and our corner went with them. And guess who was the linebacker that was on Jacquez Green? The great Anwar Stewart. Not Anwar Stewart's fault. Anwar Stewart got cooked. He got cooked by a guy who cooked corners and safeties all the time. No disrespect. And they scored. And that was the end of that game. Jacquez Green came on, hit with the back-to-back punt return for touchdown. But that game, that play, a lot of people say Coach Smith fucked up. But everybody in that locker room knew that wasn't his fault. I got another one that I'm going to get off here. When my freshman year, I played for Coach Archer, which is the only reason that I came to Kentucky. Played with Coach Archer. Coach Archer called the perfect blitz. Cobby, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it, Cobby. You don't want to see it. 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 93. Coach Archer called and this happened twice. Coach Smith did the same thing. Call the perfect blitz. The CNI dog linebacker went in the wrong hole. He stacked he stacked with a defensive lineman. And guess where the ball went? Right where he was supposed to be. If he would have blitzed where he's supposed to be, he might have had a 2-yard tackle for loss. But because, damn, Bush, you was born in 86? I'm old. So the running back, we were in man-to-man. The running back hit his head on the goalpost. Because we blitz, man. We freaking blitz. So I'm going to end it with this. And I've said this all the time. But as Butch said, he's a new listener. On this level and the next level, coaching isn't as important as it is on the lower levels. When it comes to game day, it's on the players. In high school, you might have the best talent on the field, or you might have the best coaching staff against a team that doesn't have a great coaching staff, but they have more talent. There's more variables in high school. When you get to this level, there ain't no damn variables on talent. Everybody has talented teams. They might not have the depth of a Georgia, Alabama, LSU, but the starters, they have talent. So the coaching aspect, not saying they don't coach on this level, but it doesn't have as much of a factor as in high school. You get high school, you look at Perriman in Texas, they didn't always have the greatest of athletes. They just had they had one of the greatest coaches that ran a scheme from down below to here. And when those guys got to Perriman, they already knew the system. Same thing we have a school here, John Curtis, same thing. These kids run the same system in middle school. So when they get to high school, they hit the ground running. So in high school, coaching does play a bigger factor. On this level, coaching is important, but players are way more important than the coaches. A talented team with an average, a highly talented team make an average coach look great. So sometimes y'all have to understand that it's crazy. We are doing things here that your boy never thought would happen. I don't think y'all understand how well this staff recruits with the tradition and history of this school. These guys recruit on a level that's greater than what they are given credit for, because this might be our best class, and we might hit half in conference. We are typically at number 11. We might get to 8 this year. With the best recruiting class probably in school history, we're 8 in the SEC. We consistently outperform our recruiting rankings. Consistently. But y'all want to bitch about why we line up so far out the receiver. Man, I got so much. So I want y'all to understand this. If the quarterback is 5 yards off the ball, he's on the opposite hash, and the receivers is on the top of the numbers, that's about almost a 30-yard throw. That's a 20-some yard throw. If I line up 7 yards off, look, I'm an engineer, I'm a math guy, and I put this guy to task. Coach Smith said you should be able to break 1/3 the distance of the ball. And that's why I can go a whole nother. If you watch Driving with Styles, I know I've said this many times. I got to line up at 9 because my mind started to calculate how many backpedals I had to take for them to do a 5-yard hitch and still be able to break up a ball. We go look at Driving with Styles, the intro. I have a pick against Louisville. I was 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. I was probably 8. So if the receiver doesn't leave the line of scrimmage and I'm at 7 and my eyes are, like Hobby said, my eyes are where they're supposed to be on a quarterback. If that front hand comes, he throws just a stop route, this line of scrimmage, I should be able to, at 7 yards, break up that ball or make a tackle for no gain. Line up at 7. If he's at the top of the numbers and the quarterback just throws the ball right to him, I should be able to at least minimize that. Let's say he's stronger than me. He should only gain 1 or 2 yards. He should be able to reach for 1 or 2 yards. So now it's 2nd and 8. However, if I play press man and I miss a jam and the receiver does this, Randy Moss, that's touchdown. There's many ways to skin a cat. There's many ways to play defense. And sometimes you have to play to the talent level of your team. Eddie Grand did it, and Brad White does it. I'm going to say this. Liam Cohen didn't do it last year. Liam Cohen forced Devin Leary to be someone he's not. And as a result, Devin Leary didn't have a great year. Not all that is on Devin Leary. A lot of it is, but not all of it. Some of that goes on Liam Cohen too. And Liam Cohen can call a damn game. He can scheme up some shit. But sometimes you need to check your ego at the door and adapt your scheme to the talent level of your players and what they can run on during the week. All right, y'all. It's 9:25 my time, 10:25 East Coast. 7:25 West Coast. Like, comment, subscribe. Go visit us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hook your boys up with a like. Hit a thumbs up. All that stuff on YouTube helps the algorithm. We appreciate everybody tuning in. I apologize for the issues with the technical difficulties with my laptop. I've said it many times. I need to buy a laptop just for the show. But I don't know. I'm gonna delve out that kind of money, but I might have to. But I appreciate y'all sticking with me. Even when I came back on, y'all was still here. That shit, that touched me, man. I appreciate that. Again, YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Go on YouTube, man, and make some comments too under. You know, when you go to YouTube in the thing, we don't get no comments. Give us some suggestions. Say we suck. Say that we need to up our technology. Just make some comments down there. That helps us with the algorithms too. Since Anthony not here. Don't make us go to Patreon. All right, I'm out. At least I thought I was out. Ooh, boy, I'm bad at this.